Blue Cafe at the Mental Wellness Center. Yeah. Happy Weena Thankamas. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is what a friend of mine once called the combination of Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And I think he forgot to mention New Year's. Oh, well, we all get depressed on New Year's anyway, so let's not even go there. Anyway, let me start with Halloween. Comedy about Halloween. When I was 5 years old, I thought Halloween was a woman's name. I treated Halloween just like Santa Claus. I tried to stay up all night waiting for this woman to come. I pictured her dressed with wild hair and a broomstick, yes, but she never came. Finally, my mama told me to go to bed. Yes, she told me to go to bed at 9 p.m. That was after trick-or-treating. I was still waiting for this woman, Halloween, to come. I kept saying, Mama, when's Halloween coming? She said, Halloween's here, kid. I kept on asking her, but where is she? I don't see her. I see a bunch of witches, but I don't know where she is. Finally, Mom got fed up and just dragged me to bed. Finally, she was trying to sing me to sleep. I kept asking her, who is Halloween? Who is Halloween? Who is this woman? Is she a witch? Is she a ghost? Is she a goblin? Is she a Grinch? Who is Halloween? Finally, I was exhausted and I fell asleep. The next morning, she told me to get up and get ready for school as you, and she was cranky too. I asked her if Halloween ever came over. Halloween is gone. I said, darn, I missed her, didn't I? My mom did not reply. All she did was say, Carol, get dressed and get your butt to school. Halloween is freaking over. Now get out of here. Welcome to the Aqua Blue Cafe at the Mental Wellness Center. Happy Rita Thankamas. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is what a friend of mine once called the combination of Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Sorry, as usual, he forgot to mention New Year's. Just trust me, honeys. Bear with me. Well, Thanksgiving was one of the most boring holidays. I was spending some time at a residential. Yeah, 9 months a whole school year. Right after Halloween, I had to go. I hated it. Even more, Thanksgiving was the only time I hated coming on a pass. Usually I like coming home for the weekend or for a holiday. Let me talk about Thanksgiving. It was just a 3-hour extension of dinner. Having to eat everything I didn't like. Stuffing was just totally gross. I didn't even know it. It was just some gooey something. And it wasn't sweet or fun to eat. The usual mashed potatoes that my mother cooked out of a box. I hated mashed potatoes. In fact, my pediatrician had to help my mother figure out how to feed me. After I came home permanently because I hated everything. Well, Thanksgiving was the epitome of food torture. Yes, they were peas. I still don't like peas. But I still don't like them very much. I still like all the sweets. And I like all the food now as the name. Adult, including turkey. I prefer vegetarian, and they do have a vegetarian version of turkey now, but they didn't back in the day. I think the turkey was actually the only food I could tolerate on Thanksgiving. Not to mention the noise everybody made. Oh, and it was also about discrimination. Not just the Native Americans, but children in. Yes, I had to eat at the little kiddie table. I had to deal with eating the noisier kids and deal with the adults talking about depressing stuff like operations and relationships. Yeah, Thanksgiving was just a 3-hour extended dinner. Finally, my mother was able to appease me with dessert. But that was almost at bedtime. And I was wondering why pumpkin pie tasted good. Pumpkins always smell weird. I learned that from dealing with Halloween. I mean, how could a pumpkin become a pie? Finally, when I was older, and I was able to associate Thanksgiving with the beginning of Christmas, it started being fun. Good evening, everyone. Carol signing off. Welcome to the Aqua Blue Cafe at the Mental Wellness Center. Yeehaw! Happy Weena Thankamas! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is what a friend of mine once called a combination of Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Don't get me started with New Year's. Tonight, I'm going to talk about what Christmas was like when I was 5 years old. I'm still wondering what story to talk about because there are two. I'll try to be quick with both of them. I want to take up too much of your time. Oh, wow, you're applauding because you're looking forward to me being done. Just kidding. Okay, anyway, Christmas. I was 5 years old, and I was staying at the residential. I was able to take weekends off on a pass. Those are best times. I was allowed to go home on Christmas Eve. I had to spend Christmas Eve day there, though, but I kept looking forward to my family picking me up on Christmas Eve. Anyway, I spent the night at home Christmas Eve and had Christmas Day. But my mother had told me that I could pick one thing for Christmas, and I told her I wanted a couple of things that made me feel grown up. 2 things I wanted to do at age 5. I wanted to play records. Hey, I'm Generation X. Back in the day, there was vinyl. Deal with it. Anyway, I watched adults playing records at the residential. I also rode in cars with adults. One of the other things I dreamed about was being able to drive, but of course, my mother told me when I couldn't drive until I was 16, so she told me she could not give me a car for Christmas, but she could give me a record player. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my first record player. That's what I got for Christmas on Christmas Day. My stepfather was there for Christmas, and Noah kept telling me to turn the music up. My mom, turn the music down. But I enjoyed my record player. I played it all day. The day after Christmas, I had to go back to the residential. I remember my aunts and my mother physically dragging me across the parking lot and practically throwing me in through the front door. That night in the residential, I got so bored that myself and one of the other residents, we were both 6. No, I was 5 and he was 6. His name was Victor. He chased me up and down the hallway. We were riding our tricycles up and down the hallway. I don't know what for the life of us we were doing with tricycles indoors. Anyway, I was riding as fast as I could because he was chasing me. But I couldn't stop riding way too fast. Remember skidding with my shoes, dragging on the floor, and I still couldn't stop. And bang, I ran into the door of the nurse's station. Our least favorite nurse was on duty. She thought I'd done it on purpose. I was her least favorite patient. She made us all go to bed. I remember the next day she asked me in front of my mother, a vandal at age 5, huh?